One other thing I wanted to just re-emphasize when it comes to like your spiritual walk with Jesus, and really growing your faith is making a point to be in communities. I just want to hammer on that a little more. If you're a dude, get into a men's group, a weekly men's group meetup where you are able to sit with other men and go over things. Or if you are a woman, I'm telling you, get into a women's group from a church that you feel comfortable, or a circle of people that you trust. Not just any. Like, find one that you actually resonate with. I'm telling you, any church that you go to, you can ask staff there or whoever, say, hey, are there women's nights, men's nights? Find people to get plugged in with. It's been a revelation to me that I straight up don't have as much of a social life at the moment as I would like to. Now, just over the past 2-3 weeks, that has changed, and I'm slowly growing it more. There is like 2 men's groups I'm a part of. There's one that's like near Indy that I became a part of, and there's also one locally here that I'm a part of. There's also a runners group that I became a part of like 2 weeks ago. There's also like a cycling class that I'm like a part of. So I mean, that's kind of going outside a little bit of like the community when it comes to focusing on Christ. But the main point is too, if you are someone who is like, yeah, I'm a really serious Christian and I'm really pushing my faith, but I'm isolated, or I don't like people, or there's some type of negative connotation that goes against having community that you are like familiar with and that you're regularly a part of, you are missing out on 2 things. For one, it's just being around other people that's good for your mental health objectively, making sure you have a social life to some extent. That's just like a branch of it that's helpful. But when you're also doing that with people that are like-minded in pursuit of like elevating and growing their faith in Christ and trying to be more obedient and just more like him, like, that's a no-brainer right there. Like, it really doesn't, you don't really have to do much convincing to say it's a good idea. But it's just also on the other end, like, it's just another portion of it. The second part to that is that you're with other people. Jesus wants us to be more like him, and to be more like him is to love people, love God, love people. That's essentially his message in a nutshell to us. So, even when I'm with other groups, like a runner's group or other people that I like to work out with, or whatever the case, or if I play music with other people, your personality, it's like the fruit should be coming out of that shows like, oh, this person is very Christ driven, they're very Christ-like, or like your personality on just who you are on a day-to-day basis should shine through and be that light that tells other people just off the bat, oh, like, what is different about this person? Oh, they have a huge Christian background, or they are a very humble Christian that is here to serve. That's also just an extension of it, I believe, where it's like the fruit is bearing from you and from your personality. That's something I truly need to work on. But in essence, I believe those are just a few things that I think are extremely important when it comes to just getting around community. So this is kind of like twofold. It's kind of like double-edged, where it's like, be around communities, or if you're a woman, be in a women's group, or if you're a man, be in a men's group. That's all the groups. There's not a third one or a fourth or a 10th. But the main point here is like, get in groups, get plugged in, have community, have that sense. It's so good for your mental health, but also when you're just in communities like that, you can stay plugged in and you're not isolated. And I think when you are isolated, that is a way the enemy can really work to like deceive you and just bring deception into your life. And being able to have other people you can bounce off of, they can help you like revitalize and rejuvenate and be like, oh, this understanding I have isn't correct. And it's like, you wouldn't have that if you're just isolated and by yourself all the time. So get plugged in, get community. It's very easy. It's not difficult. That's the biggest takeaway of this too, is that finding groups where you can get plugged in, it is not difficult. You just have to tell yourself, I'm going to find them and I'm going to be aware. And it's like, you will just figure out, oh, there's actually like a dozen communities I can get plugged into this week. I guarantee you'll find them if you just open your mind to it. Yep, get community.